Hello everyone. Chief Morales, Joel Fritzman here. Go ahead and pop on my camera alongside Drew. We are now live for some severe weather coverage here across the state of Michigan. National Weather Service in Detroit here issuing the first warning of the day. The orange box on your screen is that severe thunderstorm warning, and this is in effect for southeastern Saginaw County and northwestern Genesee County until 6 p.m. Eastern Time. At 5:02, a severe thunderstorm was located near Birch Run, moving east at 15 miles per hour. So rather slowly out there. Hazards are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. This severe thunderstorm will be near Birch Run around 5:10 and Frankenmuth around 5:25. Again, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 0.75-inch hail are the main hazards with this storm. We're going to go ahead and switch it over to the DTX radar. We've been watching this storm for the last 30 to 45 minutes now, probably even over close to an hour. Reports of some damage out of the Chesaning area. Tree branches split. And this storm has moved away from Chesaning and is now over Montrose at the current time. This whole area of green you see on your radar here on the velocity radar is your likely gusty winds. Again, directly over Montrose and about 3 square miles all around. And this is continuing off to the east once again as a reminder to the east at 15 miles per hour. So it's a very nice downburst ongoing right now in this portion of east central Michigan, just north of downtown Flint. And again, this is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state right now as we speak. So as you jump in here for this wall-to-wall severe weather coverage, not sure how long we'll stay live with the pop-ups today. But again, we are still watching redevelopment later tonight where there is a bunch of severe storms off in Wisconsin. Had multiple tornadoes over there today in Wisconsin, and that action is heading our way later tonight for West Michigan. Granted, we'll see if it can stay together. But again, the ingredients are there for damaging winds and perhaps a couple tornadoes later tonight across West Michigan. So as a reminder, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Saginaw and northern Genesee County here in east central Michigan until 6 o'clock. As you're tuning in, feel free to hit that like button and share the stream with anyone that may be living in this side of the state. This will be heading eventually towards southern Tuscola County as well as northern Lapeer County, if this can stay together, which it has stayed together all the way across Saginaw County so far. It is now over Montrose and Birch Run here right now, and also within the next couple minutes, Birch Run towards Clio and Frankenmuth.
Once again, we are keeping an eye on the storms here. We went live for this severe thunderstorm warning. It took a while for the pulse storms to kind of get their act together, but here we are now covering this severe thunderstorm warning for a pulse storm. We are keeping an eye to the west, as Joel mentioned. Multiple tornadoes happened in Wisconsin today. MCV is still cranking out over there. We also have a line of storms that are crossing over the lake in southwest Michigan as well, or getting close to southwest Michigan. That line has had a history of producing some gusty winds / severe damaging winds, but so far haven't seen anything concerning in terms of rotation with that line. That line is moving off to the northeast and is once again mainly a damaging wind threat, but we'll keep an eye on both lines here as it continues as this continues to move off to the east.
Do I need to turn Drew up on my end? I'll do that. Feel free to speak now, Drew.
Staying better, guys?
That looks a little bit better.
Okay.
I had you down on my end, so it's on me. So again, looking at radar here, obviously you have the severe thunderstorm warning right now for Saginaw and Saginaw County and Genesee County. And again, this action over here, this is what's called the MCV. So it's like a localized area of spin around a tiny little low pressure system. And this has been what's fueling damaging winds and multiple tornadoes across Wisconsin today. That yellow box you see on your screen is a tornado watch. And this action is heading towards West Michigan later tonight. But at the current time, the only threat right now is damaging winds. And we'll watch out for further southerly development down this line later tonight. Within this line, again, you can see there's not a whole lot happening across southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois, but this is expected to fill in just maybe a little bit as it heads off to the east. But right now we are just watching this severe storm, as mentioned, northern Genesee, southern Saginaw, and this line of gusty showers and storms moving towards southwest Michigan. This would be Van Buren and St. Joseph County. And it'll likely be heading into southwest Michigan, probably close to the 6:30, 7 o'clock hour. Still got a little bit of time to get across the lake. So that is a little bit earlier than what was expected on the timing map. But this stuff back here is going to be closer to what was expected on the timing map as this low gradually moves off to the east. So we'll go back to our radar here in east central Michigan, where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 6 o'clock. Main hazard here is 60-mile-per-hour winds. We'll take a look at our CC, which is our correlation coefficient, basically measuring if there is anything tumbling around the atmosphere that is non-uniform in nature. And at the current time, this whole cell is looking pretty pinkish and reddish, which means that is just uniform objects. So it's just raindrops and obviously snowdrops as well, which obviously way up there in the atmosphere is where it's below 32 degrees. So uniform objects, raindrops, snowdrops, we'd be looking for, in this case, probably closer to oranges and yellows, which there's a little bit of a pocket of that right near Montrose, north side of town. Could be some pea-sized hail falling in there right now, but at the current time, this appears to be just a damaging wind threat. We did have confirmed damage out of the Chesaning area to a couple trees. So as these storms roll across the state, feel free to chat it up in chat, depending on what platform you're on. We're live here right now on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV. If you would like to have the shortest delay when seconds matter, feel free to try out Twitch TV. It's one of our newer platforms that we stream on. And again, the delay is around 3 to 5 seconds. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook right now, it's about 15 to 30 seconds. So keep that in mind when you're watching this info, and the updated time is always down there. Sorry, bottom corner. Bottom right corner of your screen, that is the live time. If you're within about 30 seconds of that, then you are updated. Otherwise, feel free to refresh, and it should pull you back within 30 seconds of the current time. We also have a couple cells that have been firing along the 131 corridor today. There's a nice little boundary that kind of goes all up and down the 131 corridor. So all these storms have been stemming off of that. And so right now we do have a couple of strong showers. Been noticing maybe an instance of a downburst ongoing. It started over in Clarksville, is now over in Lake Odessa. This is continuing off to the east towards Sunfield and eventually down 96 towards Portland and Eagle. Does not have a statement on it, but it does look like a pretty strong storm. We are also watching a cell up here in Edmore, a couple cells around Mount Pleasant, actually right outside my window here. I didn't even realize that. I've been so focused on the radar. So a couple strong showers there. And the main concern up here in the northern portion of the state, northern lower, is what could be a flooding threat, along with some gusty winds, although these might be a little bit elevated in Iosco County. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our county names here. I turned them off earlier. Aranac County, Iosco County could be a little bit gusty there, but a lot of heavy rains. Could see some flooding occur. And also up here in Alpena, a very strong thunderstorm ongoing. I am surprised that is not warned right now. Drew, look at that hail core on that thing.
Yeah, it's pretty pronounced. Sorry for those that, if I'm being a little quiet right now, I'm trying to get my radar behind the scenes here up to speed here. It's been a little laggy today, so I'm trying to get it back up and working.
Yeah, this whole cell just decided to just put down its entire updraft. You take a 3D scan of this behind the scenes. In the last 3 scans, it was up at about 26,000 feet. It has built up and is now collapsing on itself. So that is a hail core coming down very, very quickly. In the vicinity of Beaver Lake Road at Elevere Road. So this is going to be south central Alpena County. If you're south of Lachine, And the storm is rather stationary in the same spot, so it's not moving really in any direction. It's just going to be downpouring in the same location and hailing in the same location. So we're looking for hail reports right now in this location when it is safe to do so, but please be away from windows at the current time if you are underneath this storm. This hail will cause damage. There is AI indicators on here from the radar that is showing, based on what's tumbling around the atmosphere, it could see upwards of 1.3, so about ping pong ball size, or sorry, $half sized hail could be ongoing there, 1.25 or greater. So quite powerful. A lot of moisture out there today, and that is honestly a quick little supercell. There's also a tiny tad bit of rotation in there, but the main concern right now is going to be this hail threat that just really just developed as this updraft is collapsing on itself. So you can see if we switch back over to CC radar, anywhere on here, this is a really, really, really good example of uniform objects versus non-uniform objects. So you have this entire area, there's a bunch of rain in this area right now of Alpena and Montmorency County showing up in these reds and purples. Then you look at the center of that updraft right there, south of Lachine, and it changes from reds and purples to oranges, yellows, greens, and we even have some blues mixing in there. And again, the darker the colors or the colder the colors, the more ununiform those objects are. So that's probably very spiky hail tumbling around the atmosphere up there in southern Alpena County. So no warning on it, but it does look very concerning right now for at least that portion of the state. In terms of severe thunderstorm warning, again, this continues for Saginaw County and northern Genesee County. Clio, Birch Run, Frankenmuth through 6 o'clock. If you have any hail or damage reports to send in, from today so far, we ask you to do so. You can send them into our messenger. Otherwise, we do have a community page on our Facebook called Michigan Weather Reports. Feel free to type that in the search bar on Facebook, and it should pop up. Probably request to join. Make sure you answer the questions, and it'll allow you in. Otherwise, we have a Discord server, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. You can also submit your reports there. Multiple ways to do so. Worst comes to worst, you can always submit your damage reports in one of our comments here on Facebook as well. We ask you that if you are sending it in our Facebook, that you do so on a post that is not this stream, because in this stream we can't see our pictures behind the scenes here on our side of things. But so far today, west of US 131, Aaron's commenting in chat here, it's very dry. That has been the case so far today. We had a couple showers this morning around 10, 11, 12 o'clock that were to the west of 131, but we had a boundary that has set up and has formulated everything to the east of that boundary so far. Again, relief is on the way. We do have some rain moving in tonight, but as it stands right now, still dry for the next couple hours across West Michigan. Something to note, flooding is a big concern out there. We have a report actually coming in now from Farmington Hills of 3.2 inches of rain today. We had a flash flood warning in effect out there that looks like it has been canceled officially. So good news there, but again, flooded roadways are still possible across the area. Some places still continue to drain. And for those who missed the reports or the updates on our Facebook page, the Weather Prediction Center is showing multiple instances of flash flooding possible tonight. The east side of the state right now is in a mesoscale discussion for flash flooding through the evening hours. The west side of the state, actually I should say this, the entire lower peninsula is now in a slight risk for excessive rainfall tonight. What that means is there's a 15% chance of flash flooding between now and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning from the rain that's supposed to fall. I will say this, again, because the mesoscale discussion is for the east side of the state, it's likely we won't see much flash flooding on the west side of the state. Again, it's been dry all day, but we could still see cells that put down 1 to 2 inches of heavy rainfall in less than an hour's time for West Michigan. So we could see a couple flood advisories pop up for West Michigan, but any flash flooding for sure will exist over in eastern Michigan, where we've already seen the cells coming and going today across eastern Michigan, and continue tonight as the MCV approaches from the west.
Once again, we went live for the severe thunderstorm warning that is in portions of Saginaw and northern Genesee County. That is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Winds continue here via radar as they continue to move off to the east. We also have a few other storms. We have a storm that's in Ionia County that's a little bit on the gustier side right now. We'll be watching that here closely. There's a outflow boundary just to the south of it here. And then we also have a few cells or clusters around where Joel is at in Mount Pleasant. Once again, mainly some just gusty winds there, but really the main focus is right around that Genesee County, as well as that cell by Alpena that Joel was talking about earlier on as well. And once again, we still have a slight risk of severe weather as well for the west side of the state for damaging winds. I will note Grand Rapids had a recent forecast discussion mentioning an isolated chance of a tornado is possible for the west side of the state, and that would be more kind of along the shoreline of West Michigan potentially. This would not include portions of eastern Michigan. It's once again for the Grand Rapids forecast region. So in their forecast discussion, which was issued about a little over an hour and a half ago, once again, main threat would be the damaging winds as per the slight risk, but an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out for the west side of the state.
All of these cells in the lower peninsula of Michigan right now, again, these are our pop-up cells that were expected today between 2 and 9 o'clock, specifically for severe. It took a little bit for our first severe warning to pop in. We've been posting special weather statements on our page all day today, the borderline severe storms, and finally we got one here that did go warned for severe. Again, severe limits for hail is 1.0 inches in diameter, and for winds is 60 miles per hour. This is currently warned for just the wind aspect of things. The hail is 0.75 inches or less at the current time. So again, just a damaging wind threat moving into Birch Run right now, likely, and is continuing down M57 towards Clio as well. If you look at our base velocity there, anywhere you see those brighter greens is kind of where that wind is peaking. So it's about a minute or two away from Clio, if not already in downtown. Mount Morris might just be skirting by you. You can see that orange box does not include Mount Morris, but it is very close by. Same thing with Genesee. It would be heading over towards Otisville if it can stay together. 15 miles per hour is the motion on these storms, so very slow moving today. That's why there is a flash flooding threat out there tonight. And again, all of these cells you see on radar are exhibiting very hot reds and pinks. That is very heavy rain falling within these storms. So rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour occurring in some of these storms. That, and it, again, as a reminder, is going to result in some localized ponding of roads, if not flash flooding, if these cells continue over the same areas, which they have so far today. We had a flash flood warning earlier for portions of Lapeer, St. Clair, Macomb, and northeastern Oakland County this afternoon, where we saw flooding ongoing.
Once again, storms are moving from west to east. That is the general direction that these storm clusters are moving, as you can see via Joel's radar, moving at a very slow pace right now. We're also keeping an eye on a line segment that is over Lake Michigan right now that is traveling off to the east, northeast actually. Some pockets of some maybe heavier rainfall as well as some lightning. So we'll be watching that here closely. This line has had a history of producing strong winds / damaging winds as well. I just realized here that my writer is not being shared. Forgot I exited out here, but basically, I'll try to get that pulled up here as I talk here. Basically, that line that's over Lake Michigan right now, we're going to be keeping an eye on it. The MCV, basically the area where there's the most spin in the atmosphere, is still further back, as you can see on Joel's radar, right where that tornado watch is at. That is the MCV right there, and that is starting to kind of move a little bit quicker now. It's been kind of sitting over there for the past few hours, producing all kinds of severe thunderstorm warnings as well as tornado warnings. And several tornadoes have been reported and that will continue to move off to the east here, and that will be another area that we're going to have to keep an eye on as well. So a lot to look at here on radar. So a lot that we're kind of monitoring right now. But once again, the main severe threat right now is with that cluster, or clusters, excuse me, that we're kind of talking about right now.
Going back up to Alpena County real quick, it looks like on CC those greens and blues are starting to fade out. So it looks like it's getting rid of its hail core right now. Again, that would have been in south central Alpena County, just to the northwest of Hubbard Lake. Again, the cell is continuing to move very stationary across the county, but it is slightly moving off to the northeast towards downtown Alpena. So we could see some flooding threats start to pick up here for rural portions of Alpena County and Alpena downtown proper, as well as if this storm can move over to the east a little bit, Hubbard Lake and Osneek in the hours to come. The entirety of eastern Michigan is in a mesoscale discussion right now for continued flash flooding throughout tonight as these cells continue over the next coming hours. It is only 5:26 right now here on this Wednesday evening. These pop-up cells will stay around through 9 o'clock tonight for much of eastern Michigan. So we still have multiple hours ahead where these cells will be existing and putting down buckets upon buckets of rain. There's really not much of a wind threat. There's a tiny little pocket here in Alpena County. There is a little bit of reds and greens next to each other as well, but at the current time, it's not really that concerning. I think, again, this is going to be the hail threat. But again, that hail threat is starting to wane, and it'll turn right back into a heavy rain threat instead of a severe threat. Did someone pronounce Clio wrong? It wasn't me. I didn't say it. Some people say it's Clio, but it's Clio for sure. I was mistaken a while back, and I got it right. So.
Well mentioned too, we do have a special marine warning on our side of the lake and right next to Berrien County. That's for winds up to 49 knots, and that is with that line. So we'll see what this line does as it moves off to the east. Some portions of it have kind of lost its potency a little bit, and you can kind of see that with the reflectivity. So once again, we're going to keep an eye on it, but right now, nothing too eye-catching that's catching my eye right now. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for northwest Indiana right now, where there are some gustier winds there. But once again, watching these pop-up clusters right now that are starting to move off to the east here.
See, we got Kimberly in here with a $4.99 super chat on YouTube, our first super chat of the stream. Thank you very much, Kimberly. Shout out for being the first super chat / gifted membership today. See if we can pull in some of our chasers out there. See if who all is live. Ben is no signal right now. Cody is not in at the current time, but he has his stream ready. See if anybody else is out there. Doesn't appear so. Drew, I don't know if you want to reach out to anyone in the chat, see if they want to take their cam live. We'll just have it up in the background. So I know we do have some chasers out there getting out of work, able to go chase this evening. I believe we have one in the vicinity of the severe thunderstorm warning right now that is heading towards Clio and Mount Morris. The timing map for today is on our Facebook page earlier. It's probably buried by now. But if you are here watching on YouTube, our mods will put the link in the chat for you guys. It'll redirect you to that timing map. The primary focus right now is these isolated pop-up severe thunderstorms across the state. The only one that is severe is in Saginaw and Genesee County. We are closely monitoring a couple of isolated ones. Isabella County, Ionia County, down here near Calhoun, and a couple of cells up here near Missaukee and Alpena County as well. Kind of makes like a polka dotted pattern here across the state where you have cells everywhere. So we're watching them all, and again, this threat will remain through 9 o'clock. And as we keep repeating ourselves here, the main threat for a system coming onshore via the MCV, mesoscale convective vortex, would be primarily around and after 8 p.m. This line down here that is heading towards southwest Michigan was part of that MCV, but is becoming more detached and running ahead of the storms. So this is a little bit ahead of schedule. You can see across the Chicago region there was some measurements of 60, 65, 70 mile per hour winds. Cook County, Illinois, we even have a marine gust of 74 miles per hour offshore of Chicago.
I'll add two quick things here. So new special marine warning now issued along the shores of Ottawa County, Allegan County, as well as Van Buren County here. And that would be for wind gusts up to 40 knots. And we also have a new mesoscale discussion for southwest Michigan that is loading in here.
Yep. 60% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch for winds only. Maximum peak wind intensity is going to be 55 to 70 miles per hour. Good news is we are no longer in severe ops, Drew. The severe thunderstorm warning for northern Genesee and southern Saginaw has been canceled. There's still a special weather statement in effect for this storm, though, and that goes until 5:45.
So for those that are wondering about that mesoscale discussion, that is mainly covering areas southwest of Holland, Kalamazoo, and west of Coldwater. So it's mainly hugging for just southwest lower Michigan, right around that Interstate 94 corridor, and maybe portions of southern Allegan County. So, and once again, as Joel mentioned, that is just for damaging winds, which I would say, Joel, I would probably agree with that, just based on how this line has been kind of regressing over here. It's been mainly gusty. I haven't really seen anything that's catching my eye in terms of rotation as of now, but obviously we'll keep an eye on it as it moves off. Once again, the main area of wind shear or rotation is further off to the northwest here in the eastern portion of Wisconsin here, in my opinion, at least. But we'll keep an eye on everything as always, and we'll let you guys know if anything else is different here.
Some out-of-state news also from the United States. We did have a magnitude 7.3 earthquake just offshore of Alaska a short while ago. Tsunami warning in effect. We just posted about it on our Facebook page as well. And the wave from that earthquake just reached Michigan. Obviously, you can't really feel it because it's very, very far down. But those tiny little, or the shockwave from that earthquake gets spread out all across and around the world. And that shockwave event just made it to Michigan. We have behind-the-scenes look of the seismograph out of Ann Arbor showing the wave. So very cool, very interesting. Again, you probably wouldn't have felt it because it's so deep, but again, those tiny little tremors in the ground can be felt on seismographs. So, yeah, 7.3 earthquake this evening offshore of Alaska, south of Anchorage. Do we have anyone that is live right now? We do not.
I have not heard from anybody.
Okay.
Right now, our chasers, I would say, are getting more in position for this line. We have Cody and Ben that are out and about chasing. They're planning to position themselves with that line that's moving over Lake Michigan right now. So they're getting in position as we speak. Tyler might have a view on a storm here shortly on the east side of the state.
We'll see. Oh, there we go. He is live. See, his dot is on I-75 approaching Grand Blanc right now. Looks like he's northbound. Very nice anvil top up there as well, top of the screen from that thunderstorm ahead of him. You know what's happening up there in the center of the screen is you have the big updraft from the center of the storm. Once it hits a stable layer at the top of the atmosphere, all the air has to go somewhere, and so it spreads out, and it obviously condenses as well, and so it makes it kind of like a chef. It's like a chef hat where it kind of points out like that, but it also is called an anvil cloud because it looks like the top of an anvil. Do we have any weather cam views? That is a good question. I'm looking at all of our locations around the state. The only one that would probably have a view, honestly, not really any of them right now. I don't know if you want to pull that up behind the scenes, Drew, and tab through them and see. But it appears that the closest camera right now is going to be that Genesee County storm, the Burton camera, but it's facing south. So again, Tyler's on I-75 north in the Grand Blanc area. I'm sure some of you guys who are watching can probably figure out exactly where that's at. So he is looking at that previously severe thunderstorm warned storm as it now tracks through northern Genesee County, just around and north of Mount Morris. It appears that tsunami is now confirmed, according to chat behind the scenes here. So that tsunami for Alaska, not Michigan, up in Alaska, is confirmed. So if you know anyone that's living in Alaska, southern, southwest Alaska, along the islands there, again, they're in a tsunami warning. And that is now a confirmed tsunami.
Yeah, I just saw a picture pop up my feed here behind the scenes. Picture in Alaska, the water receding back, and there is bare shoreline being shown. Yeah, hopefully everything's all right up there. This is kind of information that's kind of coming in like right now, so we're trying to figure out what's accurate information, what's not.
Yep. But here in Michigan, we don't have a tsunami. We don't have to worry about that. But we are worrying about some severe weather today. In Michigan, fun fact, we do get mini tsunamis on occasion. They're called meteo tsunamis. That is when we get a powerful system over the lake with high winds. That can push some of the waves and water inland during the period where those winds are coming on shore. So a very cool effect. That is not it doesn't have to do with an earthquake, but more so the weather phenomenon ongoing in Michigan. Could we see that tonight? Maybe, but at the current time, our main concern is portions of east central Michigan where there was a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Now is a special weather statement. Megan with a $5 super chat. Thanks for the info on the tsunami. Very interesting. No problem. Glad to help out.
Again, we just have one special weather statement in effect. Really, all these storms that are going on right now are just really heavy downpours with a lot of lightning. Obviously, we still have a lot to look at in regards to tonight, but as of right now, nothing too much is going on. But obviously, that can change in a heartbeat, especially with these two lines that are coming over. Looks like that line that's coming over, that's about halfway through the Lake Michigan right now. There is one cell. It looks like the line is kind of falling apart, and there is a cell in the northern portion that's trying to intensify here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as it moves off to the northeast here. But besides that, once again, it's just kind of scattered pulse storms throughout the state, and we just have one special weather statement. And that would be for Saginaw County and portions of northern Genesee County.
Go ahead and put Tyler back into the corner. Take me out of the corner and put me back full for the live radar loop around the state as of 5:41. And showers and storms scattered pretty much everywhere. That's what we expected here today. Flooding threat is possible. And that will be primarily for the east side of the state, which has already seen a lot of rain over there today. West side of the state, not so much. There's a boundary that is keeping everything to the east of 131 right now. So if you're along 131 and west, you haven't really seen much in terms of rain or severe weather today. But that could change here as we have that line, as you can see, off to the west over in Wisconsin moving in, as well as a secondary line that's kind of been detached from the MCV moving into southwest Michigan. So southwest Michigan going to be closer to the 6:30 to 7 o'clock time frame now. South of Saugatuck, really going to be anytime between 6:30 and 7:30. Otherwise, that 8 to 9 time frame for West Michigan is still on track. And then 9 to 10 for Grand Rapids. And it's still like 3 hours away. Just got plenty of time. The smell of rain. Beautiful. Oh, I gotta close my window.
Once again, it is very humid outside. Multiple locations across the state here have dew points in the 70s in lower Michigan. It's quite the opposite in the UP. The UP, it's pretty dry, pretty pleasant out actually for the majority of the Upper Peninsula. But once again, severe weather coverage will be mainly focused for lower Michigan tonight.
I'm up here in Mount Pleasant. Have a nice little shower passing over. A $2 super chat from Paramom. Thank you very much, Paramom. And Tam with a $9.99 super chat as well. Thank you guys very much for your support. You guys get ASMR rain in the background here. You guys can hear that. We do have a new warning coming in. I have to close my window all the way as the water is pounding in through the window right now. I had to open a crack, but I couldn't do it. New warning now, so we're back in severe weather ops for portions of Michigan. We're going to turn our attention all the way down to the southwest corner. That new warning is now popping up.
Yep. Be for Barron County here. Be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, severe wind threat, potentially.
So here is the orange box for the severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for portions of St. Joseph County in Indiana, northeastern Stark, northwestern Marshall, LaPorte County also in Indiana, and Berrien County in southwestern Michigan until 6:45 Eastern, 5:45 Central. At 5:44 p.m. Eastern, 4:44 p.m. Central, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from 8 miles northwest of Beverly Shores to near Couts, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. This is observed 60-mile-per-hour winds by trained weather spotters. Locations impacted include South Bend, Michigan City, LaPorte, Indiana, Niles, Michigan, Westville, Buchanan, Trail Creek, Gulliver Park. A lot of these locations I'm noticing are in Indiana. Berrien Springs as well, and New Buffalo also in here. It includes Interstate 94 in Michigan between mile markers 0 and 18. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. 60-mile-per-hour winds and less than 0.75-inch hail moving into southwest Michigan very, very soon. If we look at our velocity signature, there it is right there where we see the greens turning into blues. Right here near South Haven, Indiana, and Crocker, Indiana. This is values of 62, 63 miles per hour at about a mile up in the atmosphere. So still rather elevated, but again, confirmed at the ground. That is mixing to the ground due to trained weather spotters in the area confirming it. So right now, moving in through, this is going to be Porter County, Indiana, soon to be into LaPorte County, Indiana, and also southwest Michigan, Berrien County. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Michigan. And it'll continue, as mentioned, off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour.
A new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued.
And it looks like we do have new severe thunderstorm watches being issued for West Michigan right now. Southwest Michigan, my bad. So the southwest corner of Michigan where that mesoscale discussion was put into place. The details on this new severe thunderstorm watch are isolated hail up to quarter size, scattered gusts of wind up to 65 miles per hour possible, and frequent lightning. So no tornado threat for southwest Michigan. That makes sense. It is too detached from the low. We'll have to watch for maybe an extension up north here later tonight for the MCV, but this is separated into two segments now for the stuff that's coming across the lake. You have the southern segment, which is going to be Allegan, Berwick, Eaton County, and south, and then Ottawa County, Kent County, Ionia County north is going to be for the MCV later. So it's kind of split into two. Some locations will probably not get severe weather within this new severe thunderstorm watch. But again, there is the possibility for severe weather, especially once these storms come on shore. Most of West Michigan has been untapped today in a very unstable environment, so we could see redevelopment occur as these storms move on shore. So as you can see right now, there's not a whole lot going on Lake Michigan. But again, that could change in a heartbeat as these storms, as this whole complex does move towards southwest Michigan, Van Buren, Allegan, Berrien County, where it is, again, as I mentioned, very unstable out there today with temperatures close to 90, dew points in the low 70s. It's a lot of moisture, and that source of lift is now moving in along that front that's extending south down from the MCV. So we'll see that severe thunderstorm watch pop on here any second now. But it is for those who are waiting for it to pop in on the screen in pink, it is for portions of southwest Michigan, including the counties of Allegan, Berry, Eaton, second row down.
A new severe thunderstorm watch
Oh,
has
they
been
all
issued.
are on the bottom of your screen. Allegan, Berry, Eaton, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun. And then in the southern row, Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch counties. And this is in effect until midnight Eastern time tonight. So it's a long severe thunderstorm watch over the next 6 hours possible. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different counties in southwest Michigan. So the entirety of southwest Michigan now in that severe thunderstorm watch for this line that is down here in portions of northwest Indiana, continuing off to the northeast as well. So this will extend probably a little bit north. More development will likely occur as this line does push into Michigan.
Looking across the state here, right now we're just seeing really heavy downpours across the Thumb region, as well as northern central lower Michigan, as well as northeast lower Michigan. Mainly just seeing really heavy rain, as well as frequent lightning, but no special weather statements or warnings with that at this current time. This line, though, as Joel was just mentioning, is now just starting to enter into portions of southwest Michigan, and will mainly consist of a damaging wind threat. And we might have to keep an eye on that MCV in Wisconsin. Currently, a little bit weaker than what it was before in Wisconsin, but once again, it has the most vorticity up there. It does the line that's down here in southwest Michigan is more just of a damaging wind threat, not near as much shear as what's up there. But that might be something we might have to be on the lookout here for maybe west central Michigan, as well as northwest portions of lower Michigan. So places like maybe Mason County, Oceana County, Muskegon County, Newaygo County, those regions, roughly speaking, might have to be on the lookout later tonight with the MCV, but that will be later on tonight, potentially.
So there is your new severe thunderstorm watch on your screen in full. All those pink boxes, all those counties in pink are the severe thunderstorm watch. So once again, that's Allegan, Berry, Eaton, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch. As a reminder, a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for severe weather to occur in the next couple hours to next couple minutes. Does not mean severe weather is ongoing right now. The warning denotes if severe weather is to be expected within the next hour or less. Usually that's when a storm is ongoing. You can think about it, the taco analogy. A taco watch would be the ingredients are on the table for tacos to be eaten. And a taco warning would be the ingredients have come together, they're in the tacos, and they're currently being devoured by us, I guess you could say. So in the same aspect, it works for severe weather. Severe thunderstorm watch is the ingredients are favorable for severe weather. That means damaging winds, isolated hail, maybe a couple tornadoes, but this text does not say tornadoes are possible within the coming hours. And then obviously a severe thunderstorm warning means that there is a storm that has formed, is either producing confirmed 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, or it will be shortly, and it is radar indicated, which we are seeing right now. These storms down here in LaPorte County, Indiana, are weather spotter confirmed 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and so those are heading towards southern Berrien County at the current time. So hopefully you guys like the analogy. Again, this is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. The statement for Flint, Saginaw County, southern Saginaw County, northern Genesee County has been canceled as well, or allowed to expire. Again, that was at 5:45, so it's been canceled for a little bit now. There are no alerts up to the north. There are some very heavy rain showers ongoing up here. Let's go and see what CC has. CC radar shows not a lot in terms of hail. This looks like it's just a lot of heavy rains ongoing. And again, flash flooding is possible tonight across much of eastern Michigan, as well as up here in northern Michigan too. Unfortunately, places that have seen damage from the ice storm earlier this spring are just going to continue to see more effects from heavy rains tonight. And again, unfortunately, they also had a lot of snow this year, so they don't really need the rain compared to places like central Michigan and western Michigan down here, which has not seen much more than maybe a tiny little shower that lasted 5 minutes earlier today. Again, that really has been the case for places along and west of 131, which we did mention in our morning briefing and our morning timing map that 131 corridor was going to be the dividing line between pop-up showers and nothing happening today. If you're just tuning in, again, the current time is at the bottom of the screen. We're now turning to 5:57. If you're watching within 30 seconds, you guys are live and updating. If you're a little bit behind, feel free to refresh the stream, come back in. Make sure you hit the like button as well. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Drew Brummel right below me. And we've been live here for the last 52 minutes, tracking some strong storms, perhaps severe as well, across Genesee County, Saginaw County that did have confirmed damage in Chesaning. And now we do have a severe thunderstorm warning and severe thunderstorm watch for portions of southwest Michigan. Yes, that's a good question. Again, the split does change the timing in the diagram we did share earlier. So because it is split into two now, the southwest Michigan quadrant is kind of shifted ahead by about an hour. So instead of 8 to 9 for these lakeshore counties, it's going to be more like 7 to 8, even as early as probably 6:30 here. With the exception of, New Buffalo, Sawyer, Bridgman, which is going to be within the next 15 minutes. Primary timing is going to be 7 to 8 for the Lake Michigan shoreline counties, 8 to 9, 9 to 10 as you get towards Lansing, whereas timing is still on for places along and north of 96. That should be around 9 to 10, 8 to 9, 9 to 10 for Lake Michigan up here. 10 o'clock hours, Grand Rapids, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what it was. Lansing, I believe, is going to be close to midnight, Flint around 1 a.m., and then 2 to 3. If these storms can maintain their strength across the state later tonight, that would be the timing for these locations. So those are all there on our Facebook page. But again, shift everything ahead by an hour for these locations shown in the pink severe thunderstorm warning boxes, severe thunderstorm watch boxes, excuse me. Longtime donor back in here, Red Dozier, with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Red, saying I'm eating a nice thick ribeye as I type. Sounds delicious. Are we blaming you for the severe weather today? Maybe. Again, thank you, Red, for the super chat. Our inside joke here at MSC, for those who are new, is one of us usually eats and then severe weather happens. I ate maybe like an hour and a half ago, so I don't think I really triggered the severe warning. So I'm sure Ryan's probably listening right now. He probably said he probably ate or something like that. Anyway, that's usually what happens. One of our inside jokes here is one of us eats, severe warning pops up. And as of 5-10 minutes ago, we just had that severe warning pop in for southwest Michigan in Berrien County. Now, the movement on all these storms right now is off to the northeast. As a reminder, about 15 miles per hour for our pop-ups. Now, if you're down there in LaPorte County, Berrien County, those storms moving about 40 to 45 right now with the 60-mile-per-hour winds included with that storm. So a little bit quicker than the pop-ups themselves. So two different speeds for these two different zones across the state. We have another cell popping up again along that boundary, right over Lowell and Saranac. Nothing too concerning other than a nice heavy downpour. Could see some flooding pop in. Storms continue north and east of Mount Pleasant. Storms continue near in central Missaukee County, also over Saginaw Bay. The storms in Flint are starting to die out a little bit here. Good news for already saturated grounds, and southeast Michigan is catching a break right now from the showers and thunderstorms they had earlier today. Good news there, they need to dry out a little bit. They've had a lot of rain both today and over the last couple weeks, especially with all the pop-ups we've been getting so far this summer since the middle of June.
those that are wondering, the strongest winds with that severe thunderstorm warning in Barron County are mainly focused in Indiana right now, by the Michigan City region, Indiana, and LaPorte. These winds are quickly moving off to the east here and are slightly working their way north. So I would say places like, let's get zoomed in on here, Buchanan, as well as Niles, Michigan, Edwardsburg, potentially downstream, should be on the lookout for these gustier winds as they continue to move off to the east-northeast here. And once again, this line's moving at a quicker pace than what these storm clusters are moving at. So to be ready, if you need to bring anything inside quickly, now is the time before this line catches up.
The one thing about this line of storms in southwest Michigan right now is obviously you have all the pink boxes in that severe thunderstorm watch. They did not extend it for southeast Michigan. The main concern right now is it is too far in advance to tell whether or not this line will stay together. Again, it's kind of detached from that MCV, which is our main area of lift and storm development across the area. And as a reminder, again, much of southeast Michigan today has already seen showers and thunderstorms, so the atmosphere is slightly more stable spot. There's a bunch of cool spots just hanging out, scattered everywhere, and so these storms will likely become less surface-based over time once they get towards that 69 corridor from Lansing down to the state line. Once they get there and move into southeastern Michigan towards Jackson, Hillsdale, Adrian, up towards Mason and Lansing, again, the atmosphere is a little bit more worked over from today, and so severe alert is not as likely from this southern line of storms. So southwest Michigan, yes, for sure for now, being that it has been rather untapped, potential out there so far today. Southeast Michigan, different story. We'll have to see what development continues for as tonight. But again, southeast Michigan, not a primary focus for right now until later, probably closer to sunset, 9 o'clock and later at the very earliest. Could be closer to midnight as those storms head over there. As a reminder, this severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until midnight. So we do not expect southeast Michigan to get much in terms of severe weather besides the pop-ups between now and at least 10 o'clock.
Looks like they trimmed a portion of the special marine warning over Lake Michigan. It used to be in northern Barron County and Van Buren County along the coast shoreline there. It's now only in effect for along the shoreline of Allegan County as well as portions of Ottawa County, and that's mainly just for this little area here of heavier rainfall for wind gusts up to 40 knots. Once again, this has even weakened this has even weakened though in the past few scans here. So once again, the main area of interest is right once again by the Michigan-Indiana border line by Barron County.
Looks like Tyler's got a nice shot of that cell.
Looks like some nice structure. He would be once again in Lapeer County, chasing those cells that are starting to die off now.
New alert coming in. That is a flash flood warning now coming in for portions of northeast lower Michigan. Specifically Alpena County, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream when we had that storm moving through. There was already a flood advisory in effect for Alpena County, and those storms are fairly stationary. If we go ahead and loop the last couple scans over the last hour, let's see if this kind of circles through there. These heavy thunderstorms, I'll go change my screen back, have been training over the same area. So Alpena County is now under a flash flood warning, and that is Going to be a common theme tonight across the east portions of the state. We're going to see a lot more flash flood warnings probably pop up as these cells train over the same area. If you look north here to Presque Isle County as well, near Onaway, south of Huron Beach, north of Canada Creek Ranch, these cells are also starting to buckle down and stay stationary as well. So perhaps flash flood warning coming for there, as long as it continues to stay stationary. But right now the main concern is going to be Alpena County, waiting for that box to pop in, and there it is. In green, there's your new flash flood warning. The National Alert Service in Gaylord has issued this flash flood warning for southwestern Alpena County until 9:15 p.m. Eastern. At 6:04 p.m. Eastern, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rainfall across the warned area. Between 2 to 4 inches of rain have already fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Impact: flash flooding or small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage and low-lying areas. Other locations impacted by this flash flood warning include Osneek Township. So this is pretty rural, southwestern Alpena County, but Osneek Township, just to the northwest of Hubbard Lake, is now in a flash flood warning. And this warning is set to expire at 9:15 tonight. So flash flood warnings are usually longer in nature, more longer duration. This is in effect for another 3+ hours. I also want to take my attention down here to Missaukee County real quick. It appears we have either some sort of downburst or perhaps a tight little pocket of rotation here within the center of this storm, just to the northeast of Lake City. Let's go ahead and loop this real quick just to see how this formed. Some sort of converging cells there along a boundary. So it looks like we have a little bit of tight rotation starting to pop up in north central Missaukee County, and this is going to be heading towards populated areas. A lot of lake houses over towards Higgins and Hubbard Lake. Sorry, Houghton Lake, over there in Roscommon County if that continues.
Yeah, it's definitely a rotation right there.
So we're looking at this area right here. Again, where those reds and greens just, boom, pop up really close to each other like that. That is a quick little batch of rotation. That right now, if I go ahead and pause it, would be directly over North 7 Mile Road at Packingham Road, heading down Packingham Road towards North 8 Mile Road, as well as in the vicinity of unnamed roads here. These are all rural roads that do not have names. Heading straight down East Walker Road if this continues to show its rotation on it. And again, this is Missaukee County to the northeast of Cadillac in north central Michigan. And again, that rotation just popped up within the last scan. It literally, like, you go back one scan, it's not there. You go to this scan, boom, it's there. We see this all the time in Michigan, where you have one scan where it's there, and the next scan will probably be gone. So we'll have to see how this plays out in the next scan, which will be coming in. Oh boy, they have 4.5-minute scans tonight up there in Gaylord, so their next scan's not going to be coming in for another minute or two, I would have to imagine. And it is still there in the latest scan. Trying to see what this looks like on radar scope. Doesn't look as intense on radar scope, but here on GR2 it definitely has that rotational feature to it. And it's in the middle of the storm, so if there were to be a quick spin-up tornado, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's just buried within the center of that storm, center of the meso. And again, this is Missaukee County, Michigan. So a lot of different action going on out there tonight. Kind of sum things up right now, if we look at the big picture, we have a flash flood warning that just came in for Alpena County, southwest Alpena County. We have rotation ongoing in Missaukee County, north central Missaukee. And a severe thunderstorm watch for all of southwest Michigan, including Allegan, Berry, Eaton, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch counties, and a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southwest Michigan, including southern Berrien County. These winds right now would be heading into New Buffalo probably within the next 5 minutes. Probably going to be following pretty close to the US 12 corridor. I'm not sure how far north these winds are going to get, but it looks like they're peaking right now between Michigan City, not Mississippi City, Michigan City, down to the LaPorte, Westville, and Wanata, across mainly northern Indiana. But this, again, is heading off to the northeast at 40 miles per hour, so we'll have to see how this progresses over the coming half hour to an hour. It does look like it is continuing to slide northeast for sure. So heading directly for Niles, Buchanan, eventually maybe just to the south side of Berrien Springs as well. So if you are in Buchanan, Niles, Bertrand as well, down to the south, prepare yourself soon for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Take your weather precautionary steps right now before severe weather impacts.
Another thing I'll mention too is with that MCV that is over eastern portions of Wisconsin, that's now getting close to Lake Michigan. Eventually downstream in counties like Manistee County, Benzie County, as well as Grand Traverse County, Wexford County, Lake County, Mason County, Oceana County, Newaygo County, and maybe even Muskegon County. Right now, the environment that's in place would be favorable for severe weather, for damaging winds, maybe that very low risk for an isolated tornado. But I think the main question now is how quickly will this MCV move across the lake, and will it get there in time to take advantage of that environment? And that was kind of the thing that we were mentioning in our briefing. Is it's currently 6:12 p.m. right now, Eastern Daylight Time, and will this line get to the west side of Michigan and be able to take advantage of that environment here? So that's kind of what we're going to be watching here in the coming hours here as this continues to move off to the east. Once again, we do have chasers planning to chase. We have Tyler out and about chasing the storm clusters, pulse storms in eastern Michigan, and we do have Cody and Ben out and about chasing this line in west Michigan, as well as figuring out if they want to chase the MCV, I believe. So we do have chasers on both the west side and east side of the state right now, chasing. Once again, multiple storms ongoing in our state. One severe thunderstorm warning. We do have several special marine warnings for those two line segments that are moving across the lake right now. So yeah, once again, we'll keep an eye on things here. Strongest of the winds right now with that severe thunderstorm warning are mainly in Indiana, but they are getting closer to southern extreme portions of southern Berrien County.
Latest scan continues that rotation north of Falmouth. Is there any other cities up here, Drew? Kind of in the rural portions, probably just townships, I would imagine, but north of Falmouth.
Here, let me zoom in on here. Yeah, I'd say the main, probably, yeah, I have Butterfield, to the southeast here, cross coming to the northeast, zooming in even more. Not seeing any major towns popping up on my side and on Radar Omega here. But once again, this area of interest is moving off to the east, northeast. Currently, it is northwest of Houghton Lake. This on loop here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to miss Houghton Lake just to the north.
Yeah. Yep.
Could clip portions. It could clip portions of the north side of the lake itself, but in terms of the town, looks like it's going to stay just to the north.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. Yeah, it's mainly going over rural areas. I know Road 55 can get pretty busy. I actually took this road here on my way up to vacation last week. It's a pretty common route for a lot of people to take when heading up north to the UP for the west side of the state. They usually take US 131 north, and then for at least the GPS wise, it's pretty common for people to kind of jog over on Road 55 here to take 127 up north. So it's a pretty busy road. So if anyone's traveling on Road 55 or up north or south on 127, I would definitely be on the lookout here. Notice also too, via my radar, I have lightning tracker on here, a very tight area of, or heavy pocket of lightning here. And sometimes you can see that in areas of rotation. I know I was mentioning that yesterday. So you can see it sometimes in areas of rotation, the lightning rate can pick up. So definitely something to be on the lookout here in the next few minutes here.
Can't help but notice that little complex you have there is increased in its organization for the past couple of scans. Even though rotation doesn't look too intense, it's been looking like it's getting organized structure-wise.
Indeed.
Got Ryan speaking from the void.
Yeah, I'm bouncing back and forth right now between Indiana and Michigan, so I'm just kind of doing back-end stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just going to leave this on loop here. Right now, we should have a scan coming in here any minute here. The scan is from 6:13 or about 6:14 p.m. So it's about 4 minutes old here. New scan coming in right now. Those are wondering, we do have slightly better shear and vorticity further up north here around this area compared to further down south in extreme southern Michigan, where you could have isolated areas of rotation. Photographs are a little bit better as well. New scan will be coming in here right about now. A little bit more disorganized via newest scan, but once again, still present nevertheless. Green, once again, heading towards the radar, red away. Lightning rate also looks like it's slightly decreased as well, which is a good sign. Going back south here, we have that severe thunderstorm warning for southern Berrien County. Still a nice line of storms here, continuing to quickly move off to the east here. Winds have kind of decreased a little bit, in my opinion, especially in the northern fringe of this warning here. Still some pretty gusty winds, though, in northern Indiana. This continues to move off to the east here. Once again, I wouldn't rule out some really strong winds, potentially along Highway 12 here by currently New Buffalo Township, Three Oaks, Buchanan, Niles, and maybe even Edwardsburg down the road here.
I also would like to mention real quick, not severe weather, not severe thunderstorm based right now, but the the Weather Prediction Center has now issued a mesoscale discussion for not only eastern Michigan, but also pretty much all of central Michigan and northern Michigan. So the only place that does not have a mesoscale discussion from the Weather Prediction Center right now is southwest Michigan, where severe is going to be ongoing. It's hard to explain, but northern and central Michigan now, north of Grand Rapids, is now in a precipitation discussion for the potential for 1 to 2 inch. Some flash flooding threats tonight, primarily 1 to 2 inches per hour in some spots. This will continue across the lower peninsula, especially as we get into the overnight hours through tomorrow morning into Thursday. That's when we'll really start to ramp up out there. So we have flash flooding possible tonight for eastern Michigan and now up there towards Traverse City, northwest Michigan as well. There's a little gap between Grand Rapids down to Hastings up towards Stanton. That is not in any sort of discussion between precipitation discussions and mesoscale discussions for severe weather or heavy rainfall right now. But there'll be storms and there'll be rain later tonight for West Michigan. It's just a matter of time. We'll see how much, but it seems like it's just like a running joke right now that West Michigan can't seem to get the long sustained rain that everyone else can get.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Ryan's listening and wanted to post that if there's nothing to post right now, but yeah, looks like the severe thunderstorm warning is being updated. It's continuing. The wind is 60 mile per hour, and the hail has been decreased to pea-sized hail now, so it's no longer 0.75, it's now 0.25.
Once again, I'll quickly switch over here to the Green Bay radar here. This is the MCV right here. If I put this on loop, you guys can kind of see how it's kind of rotating around. It's where that low pressure is at, and that has been responsible for all kinds of tornadoes in Wisconsin, and is now has multiple flash flood warnings just because of how stationary this MCV has been, and it is slowly starting to meander its way eastward into now portions of Lake Michigan now. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as it continues to move off to the east. But really right now, we're just kind of watching this cell here by Houghton Lake, as well as that ongoing severe thunderstorm warning in southern Berrien County.
There's a really funny comment in our YouTube chat here. Not so funny for those in West Michigan, but Therese says, West Michigan can't seem to get the sustained rain it needs. I'll go roll down all the car windows. In a way to tempt fate. Yeah, I guess you could go ahead and do that, but you never know. Like, it could work, it might not. But there is some rain on the way. If you go back to my radar here real quick, there is a nice pocket of elevator rain across Lake Michigan right now with no severe attached to it at the current time. So good news there. We'll see if that can stay together. This is all light to moderate rain. The yellows is going to be closer to your moderate. But at the current time, that's not going to be too long sustained if it continues to also break up. There's really not a lot behind it. So there could be some showers and thunderstorms in West Michigan tonight for maybe about a half hour to an hour. Won't be enough to relieve the drought, but at least they'll start to turn things a little bit green. We'll see. Again, there is enough instability out there for showers and thunderstorms to develop as well along this front. But then again, capping inversion rate along the lake could prevent storms from firing. I have a tough time believing that, given that there's been nothing that's formed along and west of 131 yet today. But we'll see. They did expire that special marine warning, so they do believe that storm is on its way out.
The WPC outline has been posted.
Perfect. So for those who might just be tuning in, the boxes in the state of Michigan right now are as followed. You have a flash flood warning for southwest Alpena County, a severe thunderstorm watch in the pink, down here, Allegan, Barry, Eaton, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Branch, St. Joseph, Cass, and Berrien, and a severe thunderstorm warning in effect in the orange box for portions of Berrien County, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And we also have a special marine warning in the blue box for boaters offshore of Berrien County for winds of 34 knots. Sorry, 50 knots and small hail are the hazards there. But that storm is now pretty much all onshore in Berrien County. It's almost time to turn on our cameras here. Let's go check it out. See what we got. Wait for them to load in. You guys won't see it here for a little bit unless something looks interesting.
Once again, that line that is in northern Indiana, or really just for all of Indiana, is slowly moving off to the northeast, but it's kind of losing some of its steam right now in portions of Michigan. So we'll keep an eye. It's still a pretty potent environment. Some models do hint some resurgence potentially with this as it moves off to the east, so I wouldn't fully rule that out here as it continues to move off. But once again, it's just kind of like a wait and see game here with this line. The winds look a little bit more impressive in portions of northern central Indiana, in my opinion. You can also see it through reflectivity as well. Yeah, winds are definitely a lot more impressive in Indiana, which is interesting because models didn't really show a lot in terms of storm activity. It showed a few storms in Indiana, but now it's showing a huge line instead of a few scattered storms. So definitely an interesting turn here. Right now for west central Michigan, where we do have a slight risk right now, it's just mainly rain showers that are in place right now. And we do have that MCV that could be another cause for future severe weather for portions of west Michigan potentially. But right now it's still in eastern Wisconsin and portions of western Lake Michigan. So we still got a little bit before that starts causing potential problems for Michigan.
The good news for that cell up in the Missaukee County region heading towards Houghton Lake and Higgins Lake, the rotation has gone away, it appears. It looks like it was just a quick little instance where that was popping up. Gusty winds still possible moving into the Houghton Lake region, near and close to downtown. If not, it'll be a heavy downpour with frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. So if you know anyone boating on Higgins and Houghton Lake right now, they should be off the water. If they haven't gotten off the water yet, they should be getting in right now. Again, dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning is possible with this storm. Flood advisory has been expired for Oakland. Genesee and Saginaw also are under a flood advisory right now as well. Looking at what else we have out there. Sheboygan, Presque Isle now in a flood advisory. Yeah, flood advisories galore going up out there across the state. The only way to see those is going to be through that. There we go. So a bunch of different boxes out there. Those light blue boxes are beach hazard statements, so not great for swimming today. There's your flood advisory for pretty much the area that had that severe thunderstorm warning earlier for near Chesaning, Montrose, Clio. Again, that flood advisory is going to be for this area until 9 p.m., so about 2.5 hours where that rain will take to secede and start to sink into the ground. See what Southwest Michigan shows. Still gusty winds, mainly moving into South Bend, Niles, and places south. So it's kind of riding that Michigan-Indiana border, but Drew mentioned it best. The heaviest of winds right now are going to be down here near Winnemac in Pulaski County, Indiana. That's heading towards Rochester, Fulton County, continuing towards Warsaw eventually. Up here in Michigan, not as significant. So we'll keep an eye out for this northern flank. But all this up here is right now just some moderate rain that's heading towards Van Buren and Allegan County, which is much needed. I know for those in West Michigan are probably breathing easily right now. You guys there don't need severe weather. Again, the place that's seen the most severe weather so far this year has been West Michigan, despite the fact that it has not rained in a long time in West Michigan. Let's keep it into perspective. And Kent County does lead the way with 5 tornadoes so far this year. Ionia County, Ingham County are right behind with 3 each. So it's been a busy year to start, and then it's been pretty quiet since. Sorry I said the Q word, but it is what it is, and hopefully this batch of rain coming on shore from Lake Michigan does the trick in terms of some temporary relief. So these storms across southwest Michigan are more associated with a complex, but detached from the MCV now kind of in its own way. The main thing to watch out for here is going to be where the MCV is centered, which is right now near Sheboygan, Wisconsin. You can see a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and this will continue to spin around and head towards probably Oceana, Mason counties, unless it can continue to dip a little bit further south towards Muskegon, Ottawa, Kent, and Newaygo. We'll see though. Again, plenty of time left tonight. It is only 6:32 p.m. Changing over to 6:33 in a couple seconds. So we got plenty of time left to go tonight. Again, if you missed the timing map from earlier today, it is out on our page. That should answer all of your questions in terms of timing. Severe weather is expected through at least 3 a.m. tonight, at the latest, if this batch from Wisconsin can move across the lake. But that batch in Wisconsin is mainly going to be a West Michigan threat, so west of US 127 before really 11 o'clock tonight. Let's see, what else do we got? We just have that one warning in the state right now. It's good that it's quiet. If we're quiet, that usually means it's a good sign. But again, this severe thunderstorm warning did have confirmed 60-mile-per-hour gusts across northwest Indiana earlier, around and south of Gary. And this is now moving into South Bend within the next probably 15 to 20 minutes. Pushing off to the east-northeast about 40 miles per hour. So heading towards Cass, St. Joseph counties eventually. Could see an extension of that warning. But at the current time, the winds right now kind of look a little lackluster besides this little spot near Crumstown, southwest of Leidick. Anywhere in the east side of the state, central portion of the state right now that is experiencing rain and thunderstorms, these are all the pop-up variety that we saw start as early as like 10:30 this morning. We didn't really see severe here until about an hour and a half ago, which is going to put it right around 5 o'clock. So the storms held off pretty well today in terms of staying sub-severe until about 5 o'clock. And that warning was in effect for Saginaw and Genesee County, which did have some confirmed damage and now is under its own flood advisory. And right now the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state is still Berrien County.
I'll be back in just a second, Joel. I need to get some water quick.
Okay. Take Tyler's cam full. And we will put the radar in the bottom corner. Ben is also live out there. Let's see, do we got Cody? We don't right now. Real quick over here on YouTube, Stephanie W, welcome to the team as an EF0 member. Appreciate your support. Hope to see you around more often. We also have Quake Cat gifting 10 memberships for our YouTube subscribers. So if you are a YouTube subscriber, check your account. You may have just been gifted a membership courtesy of Quake Cat. So thank you very much, Quake. Again, subscribing on YouTube is free to do as long as you have a Google account. So if you haven't done so yet, feel free to do so. You do have a chance at winning gifted membership here on our YouTube channel all the time when people do give away these memberships. And even us here at MSC do give away memberships each and every month. So come check us out on YouTube. We are closing in on 60,000 subscribers on the road to 100,000, potentially by the end of the year. We'll see. Something else is dinging here. Let's see what else we got. It's going to be continuation of the slight risk for rainfall. I imagine it's probably the roads that are causing the camera to jiggle up and down like that, Andrew. Let's go ahead and bring Ben in. See if his audio is live. He does not have audio on right now. Never mind. Some nice cumulus cumulonimbus structures there in the top left of the screen, right behind my big head. If we got anyone else out there? Just checking. Do not believe we do. Well, go down to the radar again in northern Indiana, southwest Michigan. Severe thunderstorm watch continues till about midnight, anywhere in the pink. We'll like to see it get canceled sooner. But this is 60 mile per hour winds for the warning, and that continues here for much of southern Berrien County. There's a nice outflow boundary on it now as well. It extends from South Bend up to Niles, so probably getting gusty for those who are living in Niles right now. But the rain won't hit for probably another 5 to 10 minutes after it goes through your neck of the woods.
I'm back.
Sweet. Cell continues to impress as it heads over Houghton Lake. Not strong at the current time, which is surprising, but it does exhibit some heavier gusts within the velocity products. Drew, if you want to do a quick radar update around the state in Wisconsin, feel free to do so. I'm going to be right back as well.
Okay. So while Joel's doing that, yep, there's my radar. All right. So currently we have that severe thunderstorm warning for Berrien County. Pull up velocity here. Nothing really that's catching my eye in terms of really strong gusty winds, but still definitely some heavy rain as well as some lightning. Probably the gustiest winds would be nearby that South Bend area. But once again, that line is starting to exit out of that warning box area. Going up north here towards West Michigan here. Slows in. Just some just some rain showers really. Looks like a little bit of a pop-up here by US 131 right now. So nothing too concerning at this time. If we go more up to the north here, if we jog to the northwest with that MCV that is ongoing, we do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings in eastern Wisconsin that do have tornado possible tags, because once again, this MCV, this low pressure, has a lot of spin, which does increase that tornado threat. So this will be something we'll be on the lookout for in the coming hours as it moves off to the east northeast here. And then going up north here into northern lower Michigan, we have some scattered storms here and there. We've been keeping an eye on this cell here right by Houghton Lake and Roscommon. It's had a history of areas of rotation. Once again, some broad rotation, nothing too concerning at this time. Regardless, very heavy rainfall. If anyone's traveling, I would say on Highway 127 right now, I would definitely be slowing down, if not try to get off an exit to avoid this. Very, very heavy rainfall, rapid reduction of visibility. For an example, if you're traveling north and if traveling up north on 127, you could have it where basically you have a very light drizzle to a very, very heavy downpour in a matter of seconds. So if you're going too fast and if you hit that wall of rain, hydroplane can easily be a problem for anyone that is traveling on that highway. So once again, just some really heavy rainfall and frequent lightning. Frequent lightning. We also have a flash flood warning in Alpena County. I want to make sure. Get this right here. All right, moving off into the thumb here in eastern Michigan. Once again, it's kind of same story. It's just more of these kind of cluster-like storms. Not really anticipating anything severe based. These storms are kind of falling apart. We do have this small cluster here over Saginaw Bay here as it continues to move off to the east here. Pull up velocity here just to see if there's anything catching my eye. Not really seeing anything that's catching my eye with this line as of now. And then finally going into southeast Michigan, once again, it's kind of the same story. It's more of these pulse storms. The main window for that was going to be more late this afternoon. Now we're going into the evening time frame. And now we're focusing on this line that is in extreme portions of southwest Michigan and once again the MCV later on. So that was your radar recap here. I'm going to pull up here behind the scenes here, just looking at the environment at hand. Once again, we do have a still pretty decent unstable atmosphere for the majority of lower Michigan and uncapped too. 3,000 Cape in southern central Michigan right now. I am interested with this line here that is in. All right, hold up here. All right, new update. Severe thunderstorm warning has now been canceled for southern Michigan. So that means we currently have no warnings or statements across the state now. But like I was saying, though, I am kind of curious to see this line here. I'm going to circle where what I'm talking about here. So as this line kind of continues to move off to the east, it is in a little bit of a capped environment right now, with it being right next to the lake. and it'll kind of continue to move off to the east northeast into a pretty decent unstable environment here. Some models did indicate that it could re-intensify potentially as it goes on here. There is some effective bulk shear downstream where that maybe could be the case, but once again, today's been kind of throwing a lot of surprises. We weren't really anticipating widespread severe weather in Indiana today, and that's what's currently happening right now. So it does look like there is some spin in the atmosphere too in southern central Michigan. So we'll keep an eye on that. Once again, the better area for anything tornadic wise would be more in western central Michigan. With that MCV that will move off to the east. Otherwise, anything else really will be, in terms of tornadic wise, is pretty low at this time. Once again, we have no severe thunderstorm warnings or special weather statements for the state right now.
Which is awesome. We might get a break.
Yeah.
Still looking around the state, behind the scenes here. Some gusty winds ongoing with that cell that's moving into Roscommon County right now, but there's not even a statement on it, as he mentioned, so it's not really worth probably staying live for until maybe it gets warned again. So I think we'll be good to maybe hop off here shortly. But we are continuing to watch off to the west there, that complex that you can see on Drew's radar near Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Sliding off to the east-northeast. That's going to be heading towards our Manistee cam, probably Ludington, Hart, Whitehall as well.
Yeah, I think that'll be the next thing we'll kind of be looking at here in the coming hours is that MCV. It's now crossing over like Michigan right now, but kind of like Joel mentioned, we're kind of in this mini break here right now where we're just not seeing anything reach that criteria for severe weather. We do have a few strong-ish storms in, once again, Roscommon, but once again, this line down here in southern, extreme portions of southern Michigan just continues to weaken out. Definitely a lot of lightning too with that cluster that's crossing over Lake Michigan. So I would say putting this on loop here. That's anyone that's in Manistee County, Benzie County, Leewenau County, Grand Traverse County, Wexford County, Lake County, Mason County, Oceana County, Newaygo County, and maybe even Muskegon County. Should be on the lookout here for this MCV as it continues to kind of move off to the northeast. We're going to have to watch out for maybe additional cells to kind of pop off over Lake Michigan. We're kind of seeing it a little bit right now, right around here. If I can circle, get my mouse here, a little bit around this area here. So we'll see if that continues. I can pull up satellite behind the scenes here. That can be a good way to kind of figure out if there's additional cells that could form. But I would say in any of the counties that I just mentioned, may have to be on the lookout here for this MCV as it continues to move off to the northeast. We do have our Manistee cam downstream, so we could have a really good view of this as it continues to move its way towards Michigan. Looking at satellite here.
There we go. I realized I was muted.
Yeah.
I just was taking the cam here real quick because that's all I was mentioning. This is a live cam west looking from atop the Hampton Inn. It's starting to get dark out there. Looking right across the lake towards the MCV. That is where these storms are located. We do have a special weather statement coming in as well now for Cass. So it looks like it is below severe limits. Also
Yep, just loaded my end. Be for all of Cass County. That'd be for wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour.
So it's below severe limits. So you should be able
Yep.
to take a quick break here then, probably. Confirmed 56 mile per hour wind gusts in South Bend. So this is, I don't know, it says it's radar indicated special weather statement, but there is a confirmed 56 mile per hour report from the west side of South Bend, so it's very borderline close to severe at the current time down there in Cass County, which I'll switch my radar back. There is the tan box on your screen for that special weather statement. Winds in this area will go down to the IWX radar, pulsing out primarily near Edwardsburg. I'm actually going to wait to hop off because it could go back warned here very soon, considering that we do have 56 mile per hour winds in South Bend right now. Camera at Manistee is shaking a little bit. A little gusty up there, top the Hampton Inn behind the scenes. Take a look at these winds from the Green Bay radar, just to take a glance. Oh yeah, they're pulsing out pretty well offshore Sheboygan. Can they stay together though? That is the question. I believe we have to watch a little bit further south here as that jet kicks in the backside. Drew, we'll have to watch this complex near Milwaukee later tonight as well. I believe that still has a chance once that moves onto the lake. Once that jet starts to pick it up on the backside, that's when we have to start watching out for those damaging winds to start crossing the lake. Right now it's up closer to Sheboygan, but that could be extended down south in the hours to come.
Yeah, I agree. Once again, the MCV is going to be the most, will provide the better chance of severe weather just because your shear and your lift is a lot more present with this complex here than any of the other storms that are currently ongoing in Michigan, where they're kind of further away. So. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to like the stream, just hit that subscribe button or follow button, depending on what platform you are watching. Again, appreciate our mods keeping the chats under control, as well as our chasers out and about chasing today.
Absolutely.
Cody currently is in Southwest Michigan. And then I believe we have Tyler still on here, correct? Or used to be on here?
Yeah, we have Ben right now who's in Paw Paw area.
Oh, Ben? Okay. Ben is also in Southwest Michigan as well.
SD cam back.
It looks like someone's asking a question about what is an MCV. Care to explain what that exactly is and why we kind of talk about it?
To sum it up, it's just basically a localized area of low pressure, area of spin in the atmosphere. It is a driving factor for both lift to get storms up and pulsing. Primarily, also is only a couple counties wide, so it's like maybe a 3x3 county area, and you can see that on the bottom left side of the screen there on Drew's radar. It's that tiny little area around Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And again, it's a tiny little localized area of low pressure. It induces lift. It also, with a lot of spin out there, can bring in heavier winds from the back side, so it's called the rear inflow jet, to the front of the southeast corner of the low pressure system, and so that would be damaging straight line winds that would pulse in through an isolated section of the state. Also, because there is a lot of turning in the atmosphere, there would also be a low-end tornado threat. So that's what we are watching here, primarily across West Michigan tonight, from Manistee County south down to Ottawa County and points inland from that, if it can stay together across the lake later tonight. Again, that was one big uncertainty for today. The models already got southwest Michigan wrong. They had it becoming one just big line, and what happened was the MCV formed, and the line that was further down south became a lot stronger and became its own little system and pulsed out further away from the MCV, further ahead than the MCV itself. So definitely a huge wrench in the forecast for today, but we still expect this MCV to be on track in terms of timing for places along and north of 96 tonight.
Indeed.
Right now, the special weather statement is the highest active alert on the bottom of your screen, as you can see there in the bottom bar. All active alerts in the state of Michigan are also scrolling on the very bottom. We have a flash flood warning in effect for portions of southwest Alpena County. That special alert statement is in effect for Cass County, the entirety of Cass County. That's in effect till 7:30 p.m. And obviously, the severe thunderstorm watch continues through midnight tonight, although will likely start to get canceled here fairly soon as this line in southwest Michigan continues to deteriorate and fall apart. A couple confirmed wind gusts coming in. St. Joseph gusted to 38 miles per hour, and Bridgman, Stevensville area to 40. So not a whole lot of severe winds ongoing. Again, severe is going to be 60 miles per hour, and these winds are strong, but not severe at the current time in Michigan. But if you are in Cass County, make sure to secure loose objects, get indoors. There is clouded ground lighting ongoing out there, so you do want to be taking shelter inside, away from tall objects and metallic objects too. This will be heading towards St. Joseph County, Michigan. If it can stay together, and again, winds will be up to about 50 miles per hour. It's moving to the northeast at 45. If Kirk and chat here say massive shelf cloud through the Houghton Lake area, feel free to share that with us. Make sure it's your photo, obviously, or if you have permission to post on behalf, if you forget their permission. And also, if you have photos you would like us to put on our page, that are pretty cool, feel free to tell us that when you do post them in the comments with the time and location that you did take it. How's the radar looking for up north there, Drew? I have you in the bottom corner, but if you want to go through a recap, go for it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's pull up here. If you look at Roscommon County here quick. Pull up velocity again here. Yeah, nothing that's really standing out to me personally with this.
Other than the shelf.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if you do have a shelf cloud via the report. It makes sense in my opinion, just based on how it's starting to kind of bow out a little bit on the southern portion of it. But yeah, if anyone's traveling up north here in northern central lower Michigan, best way to describe it here, basically on Highway 75 or 127, Road 72, or even portions of 131. Very, very heavy rainfall. If you are traveling, be wary of that, as well as frequent lightning. Hydroplaning is a real thing. It's not just something where you can lose control of your vehicle in snow. It's also a thing in rain, so just be mindful of that as you're traveling about. And yeah, looking down south in southern lower Michigan, where we have that special weather statement, line continues to just kind of die out, in my opinion. Still some strong winds associated with this line. There's, I think, 1 or 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in Indiana. I'm gonna quickly zoom out here just to get a viewpoint here. Yeah, two severe thunderstorm warnings in Indiana, and I believe there were a little bit more earlier on. So this line is kind of gusting out here, about 50 or 60 mile per hour winds down in Indiana, but up here just on the northern fringe, it's barely kind of holding its structure together. Might even see a little bit of an outflow boundary, perhaps. A little difficult to tell on my radar here. So, but yeah, once again, winds are starting to weaken out here. Probably the strongest of winds, if I had to guess, in the special weather statement box, it would be probably more focused in Indiana, right around here. That's not where I wanted to draw. More right here, if I had to guess. But still, nevertheless, special weather statement for 50 mile per hour winds.
And by
We do have some.
and
Go ahead.
And by here, Drew means northern Elkhart County and northeastern St. Joseph County, both in Indiana. Maybe extreme southern Cass County.
Yes.
Just for those who are maybe listening to the stream but not watching the stream.
Take a peek again at this MCV over here. We do have additional development here for Lake Michigan here. This will be the main area, I think, for tonight to be on the lookout for. But yeah, otherwise, nothing too much going on right now. I won't use the Q word, but I'll use the C word. I'll use calm. I guess another reiteration of the Q word quiet.
Still tempting fate there, Drew.
Yeah. We do have additional cells too forming not too far away from Ludington. Definitely a lot of lightning too, this MCV. Every scan just continues to have a burst of lightning inside this cluster here. Definitely gusting out via Green Bay radar here. I will say if we do have additional cells that do fire, let's just say these cells down here over Lake Michigan, if they remain discrete and continue to grow upscale, then that would probably increase your low tornado threat in place, just because they can better take advantage of the environment in hand. So if any of these cells here, the cell maybe, or even a few of these trailing cells here as well. I'm not saying this can't have rotation. This is right up by the low. Sometimes you can have embedded rotations inside. This area, we had a few severe thunderstorm warnings in eastern Wisconsin where there were embedded areas of rotation. So that will be something to be mindful about as this moves across the lake here.
We have a super chat from Red Dozier once again, or sorry, becoming a member for month number 13 as an EF1 member, saying, "Put my rain gauge out. I'll let you know what I get, and then you all can come over here and cry with me, and together we can make up the deficit." So, and think Red Dozer's over in Allegan County, and Allegan County has been kind of lackluster in terms of rainfall. So, shout out to Red for becoming a member for 13 months, and for a little bit of the humor there. If you guys have tears to shed, head on over to West Michigan. We need some rain for some of the crops and the gardens out there. Widespread showers and thunderstorms of the non-severe variety continue across Kalkaska, Crawford, Roscommon, and Missaukee counties, as well up towards Otsego County as well at the current time. Winds right now still below severe limits, not anything to be concerned about. We also have a 2-hour-long special marine warning offshore Presque Isle County. That is going to be for winds of 40 knots. An observed wind gust of 43 knots was made at the Rogers City Airport. And again, that's going to be offshore onto Lake Huron. So flash flood warning up there in Alpena. A couple strong storms still hanging out, but not severe. They don't even have statements on them, so they're basically below strong. They're just garden variety at the current time, and a lot of rain falling in them nonetheless. So keep that in mind. Flash flooding is a possibility tonight, especially across northern Michigan, and may continue as well across eastern Michigan. Right now, special weather statement continues for Cass County. The winds right now, if there are any winds out there, are going to be right over Simonton Lake, kind of in the vicinity of US 12, crossing over Adamsville Road and heading down Redfield Street. Ben's got a good shot. Let's take him. It's a nice picturesque shot there. He is in, I believe, Lawton. Wow, that's cool.
Oh yeah, nice structure there.
The shelf cloud that was just posted.
Oh,
Check us out on Facebook or X or Instagram or Threads. Just posted on all of our social media pages. The shelf cloud coming in from Courtney C. in the Houghton Lake region. So thank you, Courtney. It's up on our Facebook page and all those other social medias that we just listed off as of a minute ago. So pretty cool. Again, shelf clouds are signs of winds gusting out away from the thunderstorm usually. Again, not really a sign of tornadoes, but just a stronger storm with damaging winds possible. We might have multiple pictures coming in from Houghton Lake, actually. Ben's audio is not on. That's not Ben. We do have a new severe warning actually now butting up to the Michigan border for portions of St. Joseph and Elkhart counties. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Part of that is going to be right just to the west of Wakarusa, maybe. Taking a stab at it right there. Could be 4 syllables, might be 3. Could be wrong. Who knows? That's in Indiana, south of Elkhart, as heading up eventually if it continues towards White Pigeon and Constantine. we'll watch that storm as it heads towards St. Joseph County, Michigan. Right now it's in St. Joseph County, Indiana, and that's where it is warned. So again, it's for 60-mile-per-hour winds heading towards Elkhart. Keep an eye on it. Otherwise, special weather statement remains in effect for Cass County for winds up to 50 miles per hour. We just got a water stream ongoing from Ben. I don't have his audio in here, but he's literally in the water right now. That's crazy.
Wonder what lake he's in. I'm guessing it's some sort of lake or pond.
Oh, that's a lot of pixels.
Pixel overload.
Yeah.
Today would have been a nice day to go to the lake with how humid it was and hot.
Yeah, now the big lake, there are a couple beach hazard statements out there for rough waves and riptides, but again, yeah, you're right. Any like inland lake for sure, especially with, we had heat indices in the mid-90s today out there. And in fact, for those who caught it on our Facebook page earlier and our Instagram and X pages as well, we posted that Sparta got up to 99-degree heat index today, which is one degree shy of 100, according to an official MEDAR station report. Again, there's always apps out there that sometimes show values that are higher than that, but again, a lot of those apps use data from at-home weather stations, and a lot of them do have skewed data that might have hotter surroundings than like what would be a normal setup. So 99-degree heat index is the highest one that we saw today out there in Sparta, Michigan, which is in Kent County, north of Grand Rapids. I'm so confused in what we're doing right now. Whatever Ben is doing. Severe thunderstorm watches do remain in effect for southwest Michigan, Allegan, Berry, Eaton, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Berry and Cat, St. Joseph, and Branch. But I have a good sneaky feeling that those severe thunderstorm watches are going to be canceled for Allegan, Van Buren, and Berrien pretty soon. Is that Ben?
That's Ben. I think that's Ben.
There's no way we have shirtless Ben on stream taking a dip in the water. What is going on right now?
Oh.
Only at MSC our chasers take a quick swim break in the lake. My gosh. That's gonna get like so many laughing reacts right now. That's crazy. I think next time I go storm chasing, I don't know when that'll be. I gotta bring my swimsuit with me. It's honestly not a bad idea.
I remember me and Ben did a chase earlier this year. I think it was like in March. I don't know if anyone can remember this on the live stream, but we were in New Buffalo. It was like the first storm chase of the year. And he took a plunge in Lake Michigan when the water temps were like in the 40s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give himself something to do. He's been in apparently Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, and Lake Superior. So his potential goal is to, for this year, is to take a dip in all of the Great Lakes.
Oh, Cody's there too. I just took I put Cody's cam in the top right. That's who else is also there. I didn't see Cody on the cam, but his car is parked next to Ben right now. That's a good point. What's work without some fun? Amen.
Yeah. Got a nice wall of light rain showers now, just entering portions of west central Michigan. Just rain, no lightning, no wind, no nothing with this line here. Some nice needed rain. So it continues to move off to the east here.
Sorry, I'm still laughing about the Ben thing in the water.
Once again, we do still have a unstable environment downstream of this MCV. So it does have the potential to eventually produce some future strong storms or severe weather potentially. We have 2,000 Cape uncapped that is sitting downstream on land for this storm complex to take advantage of. The effective bulk shear is also very high, 55 knots actually, right where the MCV is at, and about 40 to 50 knots just south or just around the Manistee area or south of Manistee. So definitely a lot of wind shear. On top of that, supercell composite of 2 in this region as well. So it's really the main thing we're going to be on the lookout for as this continues to slowly move off to the east here.
It's interesting we do have some cells popping on there now, north of Muskegon. Getting sucked kind of into the center of the MCV. We'll have to see if there's going to be any more further southern development down the line, but as it stands right now, I think it's going to be mainly north of Muskegon. So Grand Rapids area, it's tough to tell if you guys are going to get strong to severe storms tonight with the way this MCV is trending to the north a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Also have this.
Go ahead.
We also have the cell too, just north of Milwaukee. Yeah, a little gusty potentially. We do have a few cells back here, but yeah. Once again, it looks like the majority of the action is going to happen mainly northwest of Grand Rapids, but I still wouldn't rule it out potentially with maybe additional development here. I can't fully rule it out, but regardless, the better chance of storms, regardless, will be northwest of Grand Rapids. Go ahead, Joel.
I was going to shout out a super chat. Your information was much more important. But we do have a super chat coming in from Tyler here on YouTube, $10. Used for Ben to buy some tanning oil, laughing emoji. Tell him not to feel bad, though. I need to take my own advice. Goodness gracious. I guess this is the Ben show now. Oh, he's back live, by the way. Not sure what he's doing there.
Pretty gusty where they're at.
Doing a little bit of a weather report, perhaps. And again, thank you, Tyler, for that $10 super chat here on YouTube. Appreciate you. He'll probably see it at some point. I don't know if one of the mods wants to take a snap or a picture of that super chat and send it to Ben so he can see it, because he's on his own stream right now. Allegan, Barry, Calhoun, Eaton, Kalamazoo, and Van Buren have all been canceled from the severe thunderstorm watch. So that was quick. There's not even a single severe warning up there in Allegan, Eaton, Barry, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun. Swing and a miss. Severe thunderstorm watch does continue, though, for Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch for the time being. Yes, Eaton is canceled. All the Grand Rapids County warning area counties have been canceled for their severe thunderstorm watch. So again, that's Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun, Eaton, Barry, and Allegan counties. This could be another big miss for West Michigan if this MCV continues to move north. Boy, I feel bad. I feel so bad for people in West Michigan. I know you're included in this, Drew, but you just cannot seem to get the long-term rain that you guys need.
I have faith in next week.
No.
Like some of those cells in northern Muskegon County are starting to strengthen here as it gets drawn into the MCV here, as Joel was mentioning earlier on.
It's a good shot there from Cody's cam. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Elkhart. Has been trimmed back a little bit. Storm is still continuing towards St. Joseph County. We'll keep an eye on it. But as it stands right now, there's nothing in Michigan that isn't a warning. Cass County is still in a statement, though, for 50-mile-per-hour winds. Put Drew's in the bottom corner there. Drew's radar.
Yeah, this is the region here. It looks like it's blowing out right along the Michigan-Indiana border here. Good velocity here. Yeah, my radar struggles to pick up these winds here. I don't know if your radar does a better job. Or GR2 if it does a better job at picking it up.
If you're on base velocity versus storm relative velocity, it also makes a difference.
Okay. Yeah, not really seeing a lot.
They're back in the water. Taking a look around the state right now. The cells are starting to fire down a little bit. Besides up here up north, where flash flooding is likely tonight, we just do still have that flash flood warning for Alpena County, southwest side. For Osneek Township, I believe it is. 2 to 4 inches of rain have already fallen. Additional 1 to 2 inches are possible. We also have some gusty winds, perhaps here across Mansalona. Could be a nice downburst there between Kalkaska and Mansalona along US 131. Also perhaps near Frederick within this cell. But this is honestly just a dumping of rain across this region. I would not be shocked if we do have flood advisories, flash flood warnings popping up soon for Crawford, Otsego, Antrim, Kalkaska County regions. Maybe even down here towards Roscommon where it was raining heavily earlier. A couple cells in Osceola County. Saginaw County also has a little bit of showers and thunderstorms ongoing. Not a whole lot. Some cells starting to pop up again there, but again, not anything that's worth mentioning. Heavy shower in Mount Clemens right now. Not concerning. Couple cells popping up ahead of this severe thunderstorm warning from Climax over to Teconcha and down towards Hudson as well. And here's that severe thunderstorm warning that's butting up to the Michigan border. That's for Elkhart, Indiana. Kind of heading in the direction of St. Joseph County, Michigan. We'll keep an eye on that. We also have cells out ahead of the MCV popping up near Whitehall, Montague, heading up towards Hart and Walkerville right now. And we'll be watching this area off to the west as it heads towards Manistee and Ludington in the hours to come. Otherwise, that is it. That's all that's going on out across the state of Michigan right now. Very tempted to take a break, but again, we do still have this severe thunderstorm warning that is butting up to the Michigan border that we do have to keep an eye on as this continues to head towards Middlebury, Indiana, and perhaps towards Constantine and Sturgis. There is the zoomed out view. So we're starting to wind down. Wow, you guys really like that Houghton Lake shelf cloud picture. I don't blame you. Bunch of also photos being dropped in the chat as well below that from Houghton Lake. You guys are, seems like everyone's up at Houghton Lake right now. That's pretty cool. My post can be found on our Facebook page, our X page, I believe also Threads and Instagram as well. If you guys have any damage reports to send in from today, feel free to do so over Facebook. We have a community page called Michigan Weather Reports. Make sure you're accurate with your time and location, as well as a measurement if needed if it's hail. Use like a coin or a ruler to measure. Otherwise, again, time, location are the top things to do. Again, cross streets probably the best bet for your severe weather reports. You can also send them to us directly via our messenger or on Discord. Our Discord server is discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. If these storms are not concerning for you guys tonight and you're heading off, feel free to hit that like button on the way out. Again, helps these streams get out to future followers of our page. Thankfully, it's been pretty meager at best out there tonight. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings across southwest Michigan. We had one for north of Flint as well, but the stream has been rather cured. I won't say the full thing, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We do have a Blue Sky account, but we haven't posted on it in a while. You can follow us. I think it's bluesky.mistormchasers or whatever. It is there for you guys to use. Again, we are live simultaneously for our live streams on X, Twitch TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are the 4 best platforms for live streaming. So follow us on at least 2 of them if you haven't already, just in case one platform does go down in the future. New mesoscale discussion coming in for Indiana, Illinois. That's southern portion of the state, so that's not near Michigan.
And Ben and Cody are in southern Michigan. They were ready to chase this line, but this line has kind of rapidly decreased in strength and really has struggled to hold its act together. Looks like they just canceled a special weather statement for Cass County, I believe.
Yep.
We'll see if they do anything for St. Joseph County here in terms of if they want to anything there.
Berrien County was also trimmed from the severe thunderstorm watch. Just an update there.
Yep.
I don't believe this is going to re-strengthen as it heads east. I mean, it definitely could, but east side of the state has seen a lot of on and off showers and thunderstorms so far today, especially earlier in the day. And so, I mean, they have had some recovery time, but again, don't get your hopes up if you're in eastern Michigan tonight. The best chance for severe going forward is going to be up in the vicinity of the MCV, which is continuing to track towards the Manistee area. But even that looks like junk, in my personal opinion. Good news is it looks like we have some light rain moving in to West Michigan if it's a consolation prize. It's not severe, but it's good. Can avoid the severe. After how active of a spring it was. So, not sure exactly if we'll get another severe alert out of this. Well, there's a statement, at the very least. Sorry, I said something. We got a statement coming in. This is going to be for St. Joseph County. Forty mile per hour winds and no hail. This is for the majority of St. Joseph County, southern and eastern. Includes Constantine, Centerville, Mendon, Colon, Burr Oak, and Sturgis are the main cities in the special weather statement, in effect until 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's about 45 minutes on that, and it's 40 mile per hour winds, so it is well below severe limits now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to probably hop off here after we read off our sponsors, and then we'll come back for part 2 as needed later tonight if another severe alert pops in. Again, we've been live for now coming on 2.5 hours. We've only had 2 severe warnings in that time for the state of Michigan, which it happens. But again, our dedication to you guys is we like to stay here just in case for some of the stronger storms. But at the current time, it looks like the atmosphere has overworked itself. A lot of stratiform rain out there that's going to prevent severe weather from really occurring out there tonight. We could still see severe, as mentioned, up there north of Ludington. Development down further south, definitely possible, but at the current time, I'm not seeing anything that hints at that. So our sponsors, go through them. Bear with us here. Again, our sponsors are a big part of MSC. If we didn't have sponsors, we wouldn't be able to go live like this 24/7, 365 days a year as needed. Starting off with StormGuard, based out of North Metro Detroit. Also have Lifestyle Exteriors, based out of Central Michigan, Lansing to Traverse City. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing, Potterville area. Pro Powder, based out of South Haven. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of St. Lec and St. Clair counties. Got McKay Tree Specialists, based out of Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care, based out of West Michigan. FBI Buildings, for all of your Lower Peninsula barn dominium needs. On Top Roofing, all your roofing needs in Livingston County. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions, for all of your roofing needs commercial-wise, out of Lansing. Also out of Lansing, Shield Public Adjusters, for all of your insurance adjustment needs. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based out of West Michigan. Also have A-Class Construction and Restoration, based out of Mason County. Also where that storm is heading right now. Got Rapid Radios, all two-way communications here at MSC. we turn to Rapid Radios. We also have Rainbow Restoration, based out of West Michigan as well. Guardian Technologies, for all of your security camera needs, based out of Burton, Michigan. Also our host of our Skynet cams. And lastly, adding on today, Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. Feel free to donate to the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit to help families in need find the comfort they deserve in times of sickness. Those are all of our sponsors here at MSC. Appreciate them very much. Feel free to give them the love and support that they so rightfully deserve. Again, they are vetted businesses. We did background checks, insurance checks on all of these. So, again, turn to those guys when it comes to severe weather across the state. Good news today is it looks like we've pretty much, besides a microburst earlier, the downburst across the east part of the state, been rather scratch-free out there. There's been a couple flash flood warnings as well. So if you have any flooding concerns, we do have a couple restoration companies in there as well. I see a request for the UP. I'll do the UP check real quick for the radar. Right now it's just heavy rain, flash flooding. Could be a possibility up there tonight as well, but it's primarily going to be across northern Michigan. And as Drew mentioned, I'd love to say thank you to our mods who have tuned in and helped out today for both the briefing and now the severe weather coverage tonight, which we've not had too much. Well, we like to keep it that way. Keep it nice and meager at best. We do have 40-mile-per-hour winds likely moving into Constantine right now, rolling right into White Pigeon as well. Heading down County Highway 129 and Dickinson Road here, just north of White Pigeon. But again, those are all our sponsors, and also shout out to our mods. Appreciate them very much. Again, severe thunderstorm watch also in effect in these counties in pink. We'll probably see Cass trimmed here soon. St. Joseph and Branch will also be trimmed here in moments time. And again, if you are hopping off, feel free to hit that like button on the way out as well. Drew, is there anything you'd like to add real quick?
No, I think you kind of covered it all. I would say, yeah, we'll be in the lookout here if anything decides to ramp up with that MCV. But once again, we're not really seeing anything that's catching our eye right now. But if there's anything that strengthens and becomes severe, we'll be live as always.
Absolutely. All right, we'll hop off for now. Again, we'll be back as always. That's part of our motto from beginning to end for all severe weather coverage. Right now there's nothing severe in the state of Michigan, so we'll take a quick little break here, and then again, if severe weather happens to return, we'll be back for part 2 coverage here tonight on July 16th. There's a nice Wednesday night out there for those who are in the sunshine. Otherwise, stay dry if you are in the rain, and hopefully for those who need the rain, can get some rain. We'll catch you guys later here at MSC. I'm Chief Morales. Joel Fritzman signing off alongside Drew. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch TV for all future streams. And as always, you can support us monetarily by becoming a channel member or purchasing some merch at our merch store, helicity.co. See you guys later. We're going to roll the outro now. Have a great night, everyone.
See you guys.
Flood watch has been issued for Elkona, Aranac, Crawford, Gladwin, Iosco, Kalkaska, Manistee, Missaukee, Ogemaw, Oscoda, Roscommon, and Wexford counties in Michigan until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.